Good morning, everyone. I welcome you all from all corners of the world. Please come on in, settle in, grab yourself a cup of coffee or get yourself some water. And before I introduce the speaker for today, I just want to also uh, let you know of the chat box, which will be open in just a minute. Just give me a couple of seconds. Yeah, the chat box is now open. Please let us know where you're joining us from. We would like to know where you're joining us from today.
Oh, Joburg.
Yes, good to see familiar names. Good to see you, Hank. Hi, Ali from sunny Derbyshire. Uh,
Nice to see
Thank
some
you for
nice familiar
joining.
names there.
Yeah, Connie from Germany. Thank you for joining. Christy from England, Bristol. Thank you for joining, Christy.
Wow, lovely eco awards in Namibia. Excellent.
Thank you for joining, Caroline, from Belgium. Good to see you. Chris, thank you for joining.
The Azores,
Thank you for
Zambia.
joining,
Nice to
Waka
see
from
some new
Zambia.
countries.
Good to see people joining in from all different kind of world, all different kinds of countries. Thank you for joining, Deborah. Thank you for joining, Hector. And thank you, everyone. Before I proceed, I would like to just remind you of the questions and answers session, which will be held at the end of the session of the presentation. Um, Please feel free to send us your questions using the question and answer feature down below on Zoom. The chat box will now be closed so that we don't find ourselves like juggling around all um, comments and serious questions, so that we don't miss your question as well. In today's webinar, we explore Namibia's Chiwani Safari Camps, where we will be getting a little bit more about 2026 updates on the Mowani Mountain Camp and Camp Kipwe. Our speaker for today is Storm Napier. Storm brings over 20 years of hands-on experience in tourism, from guiding and overlanding to lodge management and tour operations. This operational grounding shapes her strength in sales, marketing, and storytelling, connecting the travel trade distinctive African experiences through atmosphere marketing. As the owner of Atmosphere Marketing, Storm represents a carefully curated portfolio of owner-run lodges, translating a strong sense of place into clear, credible narratives for global travel trade. Since 2016, she has worked closely with Chiwani Safari Camps, representing Mountain Camp and Camp Kipwe, and sharing the spirit of Namibia's Damaraland with authenticity and depth. Storm, I'm delighted to welcome you. The floor is now yours.
Thanks so much, Pule. I'm very excited to be here again, and it's nice to see some familiar names in the chat. And for people saying hello, thank you so much. Nice to see the broad breadth of locations as well, from France, the Azores, Zambia, South Africa, Maun and Botswana, even Namibia. Nice to have you guys with us. And I'm looking forward to sharing some updates on Mowani Mountain Camp, Camp Kipwe, and also Camp Isa and Mowani Campsite for those of you who might be interested. So I am going to share my screen. Please bear with me and hope that it all works. It was earlier.
I'm
And,
sure it will work.
right, so can we all see the screen?
Yes, we can see it.
Excellent. Thank you. Brilliant. So, guys, thank you so much for your time today and for joining us. And welcome to Namibia. And in Namibia, just north of Windhoek and Swakopmund, into that beautiful Damaraland area. And when I say spirit of Damaraland, I literally mean it. It's one of the most beautiful places. And we had a function last year in November in Namibia, and it was run by our venture media company, along with Han, the Hospitality Association of Namibia. And one of the things there was they had these beautiful license discs, and one of the sayings which I absolutely loved and resonated with me is Namibia, where your soul goes to get signal. And that is exactly what Namibia is. So guys, I'm gonna, without further ado, I'm hoping this will work. Let's just double check there. Okay, so in terms of, sorry, my clicker is not working. Oh, now it is. Excellent. So in terms of location, just to give you a better idea, you can see Windhoek slightly to the right, Swakopmund down by the bottom. And to give those of you who are unfamiliar with this area an idea, in Namibia, there's a general rule that nothing is closer than 4.5 hours away in terms of driving. So from Swakopmund, if you drive up the C34 to Henties Bay, through Uys, and up and into Mowani and Kipwe, which are on opposite sides of the road from each other, it'll take you about 4.5 hours. If you're driving from Windhoek and you go straight up the B1 through Okahanya, Otjiwarongo, Ucho, Kurikas, and down to Mowani and Kipwe, that will take you about 5.5 hours. And then just to give you an idea, as Namibia is one of those destinations that connects with everywhere, we also have, if you're going from Mowani and Kipwe up to the southern side of Etosha, so you go out through Klorikas, up to Ucho, up to Okakwayo or Anderson Gate on the southern side of Etosha, it'll take you about 3.5 hours. If you were to go through the park, it'll take you anywhere from 7 to 8 hours, depending on what you see along the way, and obviously how long you take, to get to the eastern boundary where Onguma is on the eastern side. And then you can come back down again. Namibia really is a beautiful touring destination, and Mowani and Kipwe are located in the Wibbersin Twyfelfontein Community Conservancy. And to give you, sorry, before I go back there, to give you an idea in terms of flying, if you were to fly into Twyfelfontein Airstrip, it's a 20-minute road transfer to the lodges. Or if you were to land into Wilderness's airstrip, it's also a 20-minute transfer, and that's into Doranau's airstrip. So very easily accessible. In terms of experiences, both lodges offer nature drives, and the key purpose of this is to really see that environment. Every 20 minutes in this area, you're going into a different environment. We don't normally have water on the ground, as you can see in these pictures that were taken during the rainy season. And we did have good rains last year and again this year. So there is quite a bit of greenery around. And the idea is to focus on the desert-adapted flora and the fauna. And things you can see are giraffe, oryx, a springbok, sometimes baboons. And then one of the biggest highlights is our desert-adapted elephant. And this is a real highlight. So hopefully you will see these guys. The nice thing is we've got a really good success rate of seeing these every single day of the year, except when it rains a lot and then there's a bush that comes up in the mountain that is like sugar for them. So of course, you know, they're off to the candy store. So in terms of, sorry, my clicker's not working, World Heritage Site, the culture and the history here is unbelievable. Twyfelfontein is Namibia's first World Heritage Site, and it's famous for one of the largest and oldest collections of rock art engravings in the world. And I find these stories fascinating because you've got things like you've got a little circle in the rock, and that represents a waterhole. If it's got a circle around it, then it's a perennial waterhole. If there's a line between two of those, it shows you that the animals move one direction. And what they discovered is these act as maps of the area. And what is fascinating is we are about 4.5 hours away from the coast as the crow flies in a lot of cases. So for people moving on foot, there is engravings of seals, there's penguins, so you can see just how far these nomadic peoples traveled back in the day. So in terms of the Damara Living Museum, we've introduced as an activity, and this is proving popular. The Damara are the local people in the area. They're very proud people, and they do have goats and cattle, not coats. They've got coats like us, but but the idea is they've got goats and cattle, so you will see farmsteads in the area where we are. And it's a good insight into how they lived, their traditions and their culture, and also into the entertainment side as well. Children at Chiwani Safari Camps, we do take kids of all ages. Being where we are, it is more suited to slightly older children, but we are very good with children, and it's a great opportunity for them to be out and about in that wilderness area. For those who want to relax and come down, you can see this area is beautifully spacious. It's perfect for opening up those basically the chakras, if you're into that side of things. And there are yoga mats in all of the rooms, so to take full advantage of that. And with those beautiful spaces come these beautiful skies, which give you beautiful night skies. So if you're into your stargazing and just want to appreciate the night skies, this is an epic place to do it. Specific to each of the lodges, the Kipwe surprise is a surprise that we offer only in camp or for special occasions. So if you've got guests who would like to pre-book, they can pre-book this. It's an exclusive activity, whether it's 2 people or whether it's a group of 5 or 6 people. And we take them down into one of the riverbeds. We do a special setup and they watch the sundowners from there. Mowani's unique activity that they have is a bit different. They've got guided walks around the property and they're signposted, so you can actually learn a little bit about the environment, from the trees to the rocks, the geography, and they've got little plaques that will give you information. It's also a nice way just to walk around the area. Then we've also got Mowani Mountain Camp. So you can see it's built into the rocks. And the special thing about this area is these beautiful big ochre-colored boulders. And it's designed to look and feel like it's part of that environment. So when you're on ground level, you don't see half this stuff. So you actually arrive on the top right-hand corner on the main areas. You've got beautiful views. That is what Mowani benefits from. And here, you can actually see the scale of those boulders. So again, taking advantage of those spectacular views, whether it's while you're having breakfast or whether it's from the rock pool and deck. Again, that pool is refreshing, no matter what time of year either. For those of you who have been with us before, I would say these are the best sundowners. It's got the best sundowner spot. There's just something magical about this. And you sit on bean bags and cushions and you watch that beautiful sun drop and change colors over Damaraland. You can have cocktails or mocktails, or a traditional gin and tonic is always a good call. And then the rooms themselves. So Mowani's got 15 rooms in total. So it's still small and intimate. And we've got 8 of these view rooms. So a little bit of an update. We've got another 4 rooms that are exactly the same, but they are 4 superior view rooms because they've got a much bigger and more open view. So looking onto the sunset. The nice thing about Mowani's rooms now are they are air conditioned. And just as an update for those of you familiar with the property, the floors are being redone. So they'll be sanded down, varnished and covered. The shower area is being tiled. And the basins are also being redone. So we're having a bit of a soft refurbishment. And then also in the front of the rooms here where you can see this tenting, they are actually going to put aluminium sliding doors with full glass. So they'll open up nicely, which means you'll get lots of light, but it'll also keep it cooler during the summer months, especially with the air conditioning that blows onto the bed. So we're really excited about that. In terms of children's accommodation, you will see here just off out of the window on the left behind the fan and the lamp, you will see one of the children's tents because we've got 2 rooms that cater to children. So this is our children's accommodation. It is a little bit different. This picture is a bit outdated, but I apologize. And the interiors have changed slightly, but it's still the same concept. The kids love it. It's like camping out. It's like building a fort and it's connected through the bathroom, so they're not far and it's cocooned in the rocks. It's usually the parents we have to convince. So in terms of the luxury room, this is our first step up to the rooms in terms of it's got a splash pool, it's got sliding aluminium doors, and it is tucked behind the boulder on the left-hand side here is the main area that takes you into that boma area. So it's ideal for people who have limited mobility, and it's also ideal for people who want to be close to the main area. The rock suite used to be the mini suite. It is, as a reminder, you can see through the windows, it is literally cocooned within the rocks. And this is why it's such a cool suite. It also has a heated splash pool. It also has little seating areas that are tucked into the rocks, and the bathroom through the door opposite here leads you straight into the rock bathroom as well. The mountain suite, however, is completely the opposite with these spectacular views right across Damaraland. And you've got 2 beautiful decks to enjoy it from. Behind the tree in the front, we've got a lovely splash pool. There's a little daybed area, and you've got a beautiful outdoor bath with one of the best sunset views, I would say, in Namibia. And that takes us to the end of Mowani. And now I'm going to take you to Camp Kipwe. And Camp Kipwe is across the road from Mowani. It is the sister camp for Mowani Mountain Camp, and it is the more down to earth of the two properties. When people ask me what the difference is and who you would send where, Mowani is for the more upmarket client, people who like rooms with a lot more space, a lot more open air. It often suits the American clients or those who are a little bit more discerning when they travel. Whereas Kipwe is a home away from home. It's down to earth, it's homey, and it's tucked into the rocks because it's designed to look and feel like it's part of that environment. So you can see the room on the bottom left, which is a bungalow, and that's the majority of our rooms. But again, the main areas are to take advantage of those views. So Kipwe looks out across the Abahuab Valley. We have had soft refurbishments and lots of maintenance done at these lodges, but in particular Camp Kipwe. And again, you can see here, it's that home away from home. It's down to earth. It's nice and comfortable. And you've got this lovely boma area. You've got a beautiful swimming pool tucked into the rocks. And again, there's a water feature here. So while you're lying here, you've got that beautiful calming sound of water running while you're in this beautiful arid environment. Just to note, we do reuse all our water, and there is water filtration systems. And then our signature sundowners are elevated on top of the rocky outcrop. So along with the special Kipwe surprise that we do in the riverbed, we've also got this beautiful signature sundowner. Again, beanbags, cushions, cocktails. This is not a golf course, for those of you that think it looks like one. It was just taken during the rainy season. And often you'll find baboons running down below, the odd kudu every now and again. But again, spectacular views over Damaraland. So the bungalows themselves are designed to look and feel like caves. So they've got these lovely thick walls. They're nice and cool inside, air conditioned, and they've each got unique bathrooms which are tucked into the rocks. So again, you can take advantage of viewing those beautiful night skies while you're showering, and it also gives you breezes that come through. Our children's accommodation, to give you an idea of the interior, again, very nice and comfortable. As you can see, this is actually the owner's kids. And they're actually reading as opposed to looking at a screen. And they legitimately do that, just as a side note. So the nice thing about kids being out in this environment is they can be kids. And it's about families reconnecting and creating that opportunity. And I know everybody says the same. But again, that same theme runs through. Africa is about reconnecting and coming together again. So the Kipwe suite is my favorite suite. Don't tell anyone. It's the original suite within Camp Kipwe, and I love the views from this. It's got a beautiful outdoor bath that's tucked into the rocks. The bathroom is open so you can benefit from spectacular views. And then we've got two of these elevated luxury suites, one east facing and one west facing as well. Again, beautiful and modern inside and benefiting from those stunning views. In terms of the campsite now, which is situated away from the lodges, we have Mowani campsite. And this is built against the base of a rocky outcrop. So when you're coming into Mowani, to access Mowani, you'll come along the access road, and about 600 meters before you come up to the camp, you will bear to the right. And this is where Mowani campsite is. So you do need to bring all your camping equipment. As you can see, there's ablutions, there's a kitchen area, there's a braai area, and you look out again across that valley floor. But there's 9 of those camping sites. You've also got access to this little, like a kiosk where they sell braai packs, they sell sandwiches, cold drinks. They even serve some really nice cocktails too. It's a theme. But you can benefit from this beautiful pool area. And this area is also shared by, sorry, there's Wi-Fi here as well, but it's also shared by our new Camp Isa, which is the glamping sites. So we've got 4 of these units, and they are glamping units. So they've got twin beds, they've got a basin inside, and when you come into the campsite, you'll pass all the campsites at the base of the rocky outcrop, and then you will carry on around, and round the corner is Camp Isa. So here you've got the interiors you can see, and here you can pay a deposit and get a like a kitchen bag, I suppose, and it's got all your knives and forks, your cooking equipment, your plates, that sort of thing. So you don't need to carry everything to camp, and you can buy your braai packs at the little kiosk as well. So if you don't have anything on you, so it's camping but glamping. There is also two shared kitchen and dining areas. So with the 4 units, you share the two ablutions and the two shared kitchen and dining areas as well. But again, it's really nice and comfortable. It's a great way to also meet people, or if you're a small group traveling together, it's a good way to do it too. And last but not least, I toyed with, do I include this video? Because so many of you seen it, but it's still my favorite video and I still enjoy watching it. And a lot of people ask me, is this AI now? And I'm pleased to say it is not. It is very real, very unusual, but very real. So this little guy followed down two females who were playing in the dunes that day. Like, I made it, I made it. So, guys, that's us in a very, very quick nutshell. I hope you've got lots of questions. I'm here to answer them. And I hope I covered all the basics. But if anybody's got any questions, another note for 2027 actually is we are rate holding. So there is no increase for Mowani Kipwe this year at all. So for 2027, hopefully that's good news for a lot of you. And please do reach out to us. Our reservations team is strong. Our DMCs in Namibia are phenomenal, and they're on the ground. They're talking to people all the time. So please do reach out to them. And it's a good way to be in touch and to have that support on the ground. So anything you need, please just let us know. And I look forward to all the questions. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much, Storm, for a very wonderful presentation, very engaging, and thank you so much for explaining and sharing with us about your lovely suite, especially your favorite one.
My favorite.
It was also good to see the presentation end with a very nice video of the little guy going down the sand. I would like to quickly jump into the questions. I have a couple of questions that I have here. Um, there's a question from Colin. He just wants to know, when is the refurb at Mowani due to be completed?
By the end of April this year.
End of April.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. And a question from Chris, who's saying, so excited. I've got a client coming to camp in Mowani in September. Great to see it. Thanks. Is the early video on your website? Thanks.
There isn't video on the website, but if you have a look at our social media,
Mhm.
we've got one for the campsite now and Camp Isa, and then we've got social media for Kipwe and for Mowani individually as well. So please have a look at those because there's some beautiful videos that give you snapshots and insights. We are currently in the process of getting a marketing video done. But truth be told, I'm quite pedantic and it just doesn't reflect it the way I want it to be reflected. But yeah, our social media is lovely. There's some beautiful videos on there, and I will include the social media links in the follow-up that Pule will send to you after the webinar.
Yes. Thank you so much, Storm. And another question from Evelyn. I wasn't able to book the excursion, the Desert Elephant, in advance. Why is that?
So it depends. It depends where you're staying. So, for instance, from the campsites and Camp Isa, it's not a guaranteed activity that you can book. So, from Camp Isa, subject to availability, on arrival at camp, you can see about booking. But for Mowani and Kipwe, it goes out every morning. So it's a morning activity. So you don't need to pre-book it. With the exception of a private vehicle, again, that's also subject to availability. Unfortunately, we're limited in our guides and our vehicle availability, so we can only guarantee private vehicles on arrival. Unless people have a whole group of people traveling, sort of up to six, then automatically for Mowani, they will usually get a private vehicle. So just to keep that in mind, but it depends on which camp it was and the different circumstances. But if you've got any questions or hassles on that side, please reach out to me directly and I'll happily discuss it or look into it for you.
Okay. Thank you. Oh, thank you, Storm. That brings us to all of
Oh,
the questions for today. Oh,
no more
there's another.
questions.
I think there's another one. So if you don't need to pre-book from Mowani, my group is six. Is there a minimum or maximum?
No, so for the vehicles, we always try and put six in a vehicle for Mowani. Kipware, we might add one or two more, but we'll always try and put maximum six people in a vehicle. So that should be fine. You shouldn't have any issues at all.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Chris, for that question. Thank you so much. That brings us to all the questions for today. And thank you, Storm, for obviously answering those questions. Nice and neat. And yeah, again, just to reiterate what Storm said earlier on, I will be sharing the video with together with the links that she will provide to me as feedback. So you will be getting the feedback as a webinar recording and the feedback from Storm. Thank you so much to everyone who managed to join today. We appreciate your participation and thank you, Storm, for coming in, giving us all this insightful information and update about Camp Kipwe and Chiwani.
Thank you. And thank you, Pule, for this. Thank you, Atta. And thank you, everyone, for joining. And I hope you have a wonderful week ahead.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, everyone.
Take care.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye.